What a roller coaster for Ryan Blaney and the number 12 team here at Daytona International Speedway. He started the day in the playoffs. At the big rain delay, he was out of the playoffs. But then once the checkered flag flew, he was once again part of the 16 drivers that will compete for a NASCAR championship.
You never know what can happen, and our day was not well, from the very start. But you just try to keep your head up and just stay in the game, and that's what we did.
I'm over the moon for the guys on the 12 car. They deserve it. Ryan deserves it. I care a lot about the team, and I tell you what, I didn't even know he made it in after the 3-car win, and I thought him winning was sealing the deal for his fate.
That would have definitely stunk, but you understand the playoff format, and you understand you need to win races, and we just haven't been able to accomplish that. And so it definitely would have been a bummer, but unfortunately it worked out for us, and we're able to make it happen.
With the excitement, though, does come some disappointment because it was a first-time winner in Austin Dillon getting the victory. That means Martin Truex Jr. is on the outside looking in. The former NASCAR Cup Series champion will not get a chance to win another title.
We really did a good job, I think. To make up 22 points in one race is a big gain. Right. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough today. It's just frustrating here. We run well and then we get wrecked. At the end of the day, we still somewhat decent finish, but it really doesn't matter.
Here's the thing for Ryan Blaney. Even though he just made the playoffs by the skin of his teeth, he is now in great position thanks to how high he was in the points, as well as stage victories accumulated throughout the season. So, even though he hasn't won yet and will be the only playoff member who did not win a race this year, expect Ryan Blaney to contend for that NASCAR Cup Series championship. In Daytona International Speedway, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jacks.
Weber all excited, by the way. He loves Blaney. One of his favorites, so he's not mad about that. Stuart Weber, the only local reporter in Daytona on this Sunday. Some notes: the playoff field now set. 16 drivers. The other drivers were raced, but not for a championship the last 10 weeks. Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney squeezed in the final 2 spots, as was mentioned. Martin Truex Jr. misses by 3 points. And NASCAR waited out another lengthy delay, maybe in part because many drivers were upset after that crash that we showed you inside 30 laps to go. Rain was falling just about the same time as that crash, and many drivers thought they should have stopped the race before the crash, and the wet track was the reason the crash happened. And say hey to Thomas Hatcher. His job description is a front tire changer for Joe Gibbs Racing. Thomas is from Middleburg, and after graduating from Middleburg High, went to NASCAR Technical Institute. And now he's part of a pit crew in NASCAR. Well, you do anything in August in Northeast Florida, and weather is an issue. It's been a nasty week around here, and Daytona took the brunt of it the last couple of days, delays, but they finally got the regular season finale in Austin Dillon wins. It's really a fun move on the calendar at Daytona. Sure, the tradition of fireworks and racing on the 4th of July weekend is missed, but there's a lot more on the line now, and Daytona decides it all. Welcome back to Action Sports Jack's Primetime. I'm Brett Martineau. Austin Dillon looked like he had won when the big one happened amidst raindrops, and he got through the mess, but NASCAR decided to wait out the weather, restart the race. Dillon held on again to win the Coke Zero Sugar 400, and the one pushed him into the playoff field. Action Sports Jack's the only local station in Daytona today, with Stuart Weber in Victory Lane.
It's no secret the number 3 car has a great history here at the World Center of Racing. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Sr. for all those years dominating in duels, summer races, and eventually that Daytona 500. Well, now Austin Dillon can add a second win at the 2.5-mile tri-oval after picking up a victory in the Coke Zero Sugar 400. And with his family around him, this one meant a lot to the driver of the number 3 car.
The last one in Texas, my wife and Ace weren't able to be there. Ace was just born, so today to get him back here to Victory Lane and hopefully he frequents it more often. It feels good to bring him here, and maybe one day we'll see him in my position.
It hasn't been smooth sailing over at RCR when you consider that one of the drivers has already announced that he's leaving the team for the 2024 season. That's his teammate Tyler Reddick, who's going to head to 2311 Racing down the road. But for now, he's still teammates. Both are going to go for a championship and continue to build upon the success at Richard Childress Racing.
Losing him hurts. But in the same sentence, he's pushed me to another level, and it's been nice having him as a teammate. And we got another year together right now, and we're just going to go out there and both try and win a championship for RCR, because in the end, that's what matters, is getting a championship back to RCR.
So now the attention shifts to the postseason, and for Austin Dillon to be successful in the playoffs, he's going to need to do a little better on the intermediate tracks. Those mile-and-a-halfs are really what determine who lifts the trophy at the end of the season. Only one more super speedway race to go this season in the postseason. That'll be at Talladega in a few weeks. For now, at Daytona International Speedway, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jacks.
All right, good to have Weber down in Daytona today. Here's what the schedule looks like to get the playoffs going. 16 drivers in the mix for the points championship, and then it gets kind of confusing, right? Because all playoffs now have to be so confusing. 4 will be eliminated after the next 3 races, Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. That will get the field down to 12 with 7 races to go. 3 more races after that, it'll be an Elite 8. And eventually we'll get to the Final 4. And at that one race in Phoenix, they'll race for all the marbles.
Action Sports Jacks Primetime, Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.